Hello, it's 2BD. I had some requests to show how I replace instruments and drums and create MIDI from files. So that's what we're going to do today. Starting here with Suno, obviously you got to download the track, whatever you're going to work with. So I'll do that right here. And once you download it, you go to this website called The Circle. It's by Phil Spicer or Spicer. I don't know how to say his name. I'll put a link in the description on how it works. But you go to this thing called The Circle app, and by Phil Spicer, you can upload your WAV file that you've downloaded to this thing called the Split. So you load your audio, whatever the file is, and then you can pick 2 stems or 6 stems. If you're looking to replace instruments, it's probably better to use the 6 stems. 2 is not going to be enough, it's just going to be a vocal instrumental. Otherwise, do the 6 because it'll give you the 6 major parts of a track. This process takes a few minutes, but that's going to save you a lot of time. So you download the stems. It's going to create a zip file. So you get the zip file. I actually take the zip file and then move it into my project directory, wherever I'm going to work from, with the WAV files, MIDI files, things like that. I put it in the project directory. So I've put the original and these stems in here. So unzip these stems and you should get 6 files. And there they are, the 6 parts. So next thing you want to do is go back into the tools from the Circle, and we're going to go to the transcript. Now, if you don't know the BPM of your track, it's okay, but you can calculate that in another tool. I use this thing called mixed in key. So I just drag the original over there and it just tells me the BPM. Just takes a second. 128, F minor for this one. So put 128, click load audio, and then go to whatever part of the track you'd like to have a MIDI file for. So in this case, first one I do is vocals. So you open that up, do the transcribe MIDI. This takes a minute. Alright, so it's loaded it up. I go ahead and do this pretty much every time. I just change the chord detection sensitivity all the way down, the selectivity all the way down, the note filter all the way down. Most of the time that works fine, because all you're really wanting is like a general guide for where the notes are. So what this is going to do is create a MIDI file. You click that little save button, it creates the MIDI. I take the MIDI file, rename it to whatever the part is. In this case it was vocals, so I just do dash vocals. And then I just pulled it into my my project directory where I've stored everything. And I'll continue to do this process for the rest of the tracks that I want to get the MIDI for. Alright, so now we're looking at my DAW. I use Acid Pro because it's very simple, very basic. It doesn't run into memory problems, and it's a pretty good thing to use for something like this project. So I'll go ahead and pull all the files into the DAW and then just line them up, you know, based on the tempo so that it's set at exactly a point like the 17th beat, you know, so that it starts exactly right there. So just pull the track over, there you go, 17th beat. Now I can create a loop from that point at 17 to 20 or 1 or 19 or whatever. So there's 8 beats, 16 beats or whatever. So I take in my exported MIDI I saved earlier, so I just pull them directly in, and as you can see it pulls in and starts playing the instrument because that's where the keys were. And you can tell that the new instrument that has been imported with the MIDI automatically sounds in key. It's because it's already in key from the tool that we used earlier. And as you can see, it's not perfect. It's a good guide, but it will at least give you good information about where the notes are. So instead of guessing as to what note each thing is, it actually does a pretty decent job of creating the MIDI notes where they need to be. Go ahead and save my project just in case it crashes or something here. Alright, so you can see where the notes are. I'm going to pull the bass down because you should be able to see, you know, how the bass actually is and compared to the notes being played. So as you can see, it's not really perfect, but it gives you a good idea. So what I'll do is go through this and just line them up. So I'm going to work on that right now. Just playing, just so you can see that it's, you know, it's playing on key and playing on tempo. I'll go open up Serum, and then it will open up the initial, you know, setting, this first instrument, and then change it to something else. And I heard this and I was like, hey, I kind of like that sound, so let's mess with that a little bit. So now I'm just going to go through the track and line up the notes for the intro so that they'll be played through. And just giving another part right here. So let's say go later in the track and add notes again, you know, where it's appropriate. You can see that the second note right there is actually a bunch of notes, so they're just syncopated, I guess is the word for it. And I just go through and just add notes that matches the actual waveform. So I'll have a layered synth on top of the bass. And obviously I'm not going into every single detail of how I do this, but it will give you a good idea on how to get it to work for whatever project you're working with. And this should work with any genre too, not just, you know, this is EDM or house music or what have you. It shouldn't matter. The Phil Spicer application, the Circle, does a good job of working through all this. I have my new layered sound, and I'll adjust the serum so that it will sound appropriate for the part of the song. Having a hard time getting this to fit on the window correctly. And you'll have some bad notes that are just the nature of what you're doing. So just go in there and clean them up. We'll delete them out of there. Okay, now I'll pull in something else. Let's see, that looks like I pulled in the guitar this time. And this is, it looks like piano actually. It could be guitar, but I think this actually sounds like a piano part. But no matter, we'll switch it to an instrument we want to use. And I like this sound, so we'll go with this, adjust it. That's the original, and then with my new sound added. So if I adjust the volume, so now I have this other layered synth that brings a lot more texture to the song. And the same problem, you're going to have bad notes or notes you don't want to use. So you can just go back into the MIDI file and remove them or edit them, whatever you want to do. Well, hope you enjoyed the video. Have a good one.